Welcome back to Premier League Unpacked episode 21, and it's a special episode today, transfer deadline day. It's officially over in about 2 minutes, and we're here with my guy Tom in person,
in the
people,
flesh.
and we're going to try to go through all the deals, and basically we're just going to be sitting here having a gander, looking at what's been completed and taking it from there. What are you telling me, Bish? You good?
Sounds good, man. I mean, it's been a bit of a crazy last day of transfers. People have been busy. Clubs that hadn't been busy are being busy. I've seen Southampton were starting to get involved by trying to buy a few players. We've been right up to the wire, seeing what's going on with Aubameyang and what's going on with Arsenal. Have you got any last-minute updates from what you've been seeing over the last 5 or 10?
Do you know what? Yeah, bro, it's been a madness, people. I'm not going to lie, yeah. It's been a madness.
Yo,
obviously, Bish has been down here now. He's come to Manchester, so he thought, you know what, we'll book a little studio out, link up in the flesh, and get something rocking. Yo, we've just had the most amount of technical difficulties
Definitely.
for about an hour.
Yeah.
But we've just been looking to try to kick this off about 10:30. But it is what it is.
We're not going to put no
We're
smut
here
on
now.
the studio, but we'll blame them. Definitely.
Yo, I'm telling you. I think if the visuals or the sounds ain't too clever, let us know as well, because it's the first time we're doing a setup like this, obviously, and we ain't no tech guys, so we got to take it from there.
100%.
But the first thing I want to mention is Aubameyang Bish, because I'm just going to confirm it now to see if he's fully confirmed and it's gone through, but it looks like Chelsea have signed Aubameyang. He's in London. I'm not going to lie.
Why do you think it went right down to the wire like that?
You know what? Yeah, I think it's just Barcelona, innit? I think the way they're working right now is amateurish, innit? They're bringing in so many players through the door. They can't get players out of the door.
Yeah.
And I think Marcus Alonso as well was a bit of the in the bargaining for it as well, because they wanted him. They was after him for a while. And to be fair, Barcelona have got a good deal out of it. 10 million and Marcus Alonso.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, he just goes there and he doesn't perform like anything that he did when he was at Arsenal, because
at Barca.
I'm not going to lie, I can't sit here and lie to everyone, I hate it when any player of ours, especially somebody of substance who's been playing well, goes to another rival Premier League team. It pisses me off, I'm not going to lie, people.
It's true.
What do you stand on it? Do you think it's a good move for him?
I think he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. We spoke about this a little bit in the last few weeks on Premier League Unpacked, and I think you've said a few times that on one hand, it's hard for you to hold anything against Aubameyang because he was stuck in a situation. He didn't really want to leave Arsenal, or so it seems. Now he's at Barca. Kind of situations over there are forcing people out the door, and it looks like Chelsea were the only real suitor. I think if he'd had another option to go somewhere else, maybe in Spain or somewhere else that would have been similar level of football and wasn't going to be one of Arsenal's rivals, I think he would have, because I think he's got that respect for the fans and the club. Going off what I've seen of how he moves and how he carries himself. But unfortunately for these guys, they've not always got that many options. And when it goes down to the wire like this, you take what you can get. The window's closed officially. It's officially closed. And,
do you know what?
It's last-minute business at that point. What does he do? Does he take Chelsea, or does he potentially stick out at Barca? Be stuck in a bad situation there, then who knows what his value is next season. Maybe Chelsea don't come knocking next season if there's another bad year with Barca. While you're checking that out,
you know what, I was just looking, I just wanted to just see what Arsenal was doing, because it's been a madness over the last half an hour setting everything up. I just wanted to see if there was any update
Douglas
on
Luiz
the Douglas Luiz situation. And
4 bids in one day, That's what they're saying. They're saying it's been 4 bids and Fingy ain't been interested.
Fucking shit. 20. That's how you can move your leg and that. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get comfortable here. You know what I'm saying, people? But you know what? 23 million, I believe, was the last bid that got rejected. And if we want a player, just go and sign him in it. That's what I'm saying, because they ain't got all that time left, especially on the deadline day. You've left yourself short. And you need to dip in the market. You got to pay over the odds, in my opinion.
It's true. I'm hearing that they'd said from early, supposedly the public line from Aston Villa early on in the day was he's not for sale. But then supposedly I'd heard in the background that there was rumours that if a £40 million bid came in, they'd let him go. Now, if you've left it this late in the window, and if Arsenal have decided that he might be the difference between able to push for the title this year, then you just pay that 40 million and get him through the door. I think he's you know, you've done some bargains. It's like in life, innit? If you go out and you get something on a bargain that you weren't expecting to get on a bargain, like a Jesus, then you don't mind if you pay a little bit over the odds for someone else. It's not like Douglas Luiz is some pensioner.
Because
I'm
hearing that the Aubameyang thing, it doesn't look like it's being fully completed. Well, it doesn't look like he's out there as fully done, but the paperwork probably done before 11 o'clock, because I'll be honest, I seen something a little bit earlier on with Aubameyang saying I'm back in London.
How would you feel about it if it hasn't gone through? Happy?
Yeah, I'd be buzzing if it didn't go through, bro.
Did you hear about the City signing earlier on in the day? City been moving quietly again.
Yeah, Akanji they brought, you guys. What he's telling me, what do you think?
I'd be lying if I said I knew a lot about him, but everything I've heard is like he's pretty certain. I mean, I don't know how Dortmund must feel. City just come and raided him this summer, but maybe they know that's what...
Pennies as well, bro.
Pennies, yeah, pennies. But I think he's on the older side now.
I think it's about like, what, 26, 27?
Okay, that's not too
maybe.
bad. I was thinking he might have been 30. I'm going to check that I'll fact check that while we're talking. But I think for me, an extra fullback probably was the one position where you felt like if we got an injury, you might have been a little bit worried. Obviously, I don't know this guy personally, but I've heard he's been a good player for Borussia Dortmund, and they're a good side. You know, not a bad thing for Haaland to get another person through the door that he knows. Not like he's looking homesick, but, you know, good to get someone else through the door that he's already got a rapport with.
Do you reckon that was Haaland giving a word to Pep and saying to him, look, he's a tough defender to play against. I've been playing against him, you know, training year in, year out. And
it could
he might have something about him, and he's fit the Premier League. He's got the pace, he's got the power.
It could be.
And you could get him for cheap, because that seems like it's come a bit out of the blue, to be fair. I've not really seen City getting linked with players like Akanji or whatnot before. So,
well, what I've heard is that there's a lot of Dortmund players of saying that even when he's gone to centre back, he's been one of their best centre backs the last few seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not. I don't think he was the first choice every week for Dortmund. Yeah. But you're probably not going to go out and get their first choice centre back after already taking their striker. But you know, it's more business, and at this point, I think City have got the track record where you trust them to go out and do good business. Do you know what I mean? I went to the game yesterday. I know we're on transfers, but I did come up to watch the game against Forest yesterday. Yeah. Played a bit of footy today as well. My legs are still trying to recover. That's another reason we were here all flustered, because I fucking dragging myself around the football pitch for the first time in years. But no, it was great.
We made it happen. We're here, innit?
We're here.
Bottom line of it is, we're here, and we're going to just literally try to talk about all the confirmed deals that have just been taken place. Yeah. And you know what? I want to talk to you and touch on Arthur Melo going to Liverpool on loan. What's your stance on that? Does that give you any, give you the frighteners being a City fan?
You know what? I don't know if it's just that... I don't know if I'm just more out of touch with international football, or if there's been a lot of signings this year of like semi-obscure players. Like a lot of the signings, even the big name signings, I hadn't heard of any of them. Yeah. I hadn't heard of Nunes before he came. I hadn't heard of Alvarez before he came. He looked quality last night. Yeah. I've not heard of that lad that you just spoke about there.
Arthur Melo. He used to play for Barcelona back in the day. He's gone to Juventus. He's been knocking around for a while.
Oh, Melo. Man. Wait, not Felipe Melo.
Show you up yo, bro, he's Felipe.
He must be about 45 by now. What is it? His brother? Is he half after player that Felipe was? You get half a Melo.
You know what, bro? They're saying he's that kind of Thiago kind player for them, and he's gonna come in and fill the role of Thiago, because obviously Thiago's been getting quite injury prone.
Thiago is injury prone, isn't it? It's a shame that, because he's a good player.
But they've signed him on loan, so it's not like it's.
Why do you think clubs do that? It don't feel like it makes sense to me for a team like...
Jordan just got injured, didn't he, in last game?
But I mean, from the other end, like, what's the value for Juventus in just loaning out a player like that?
I think, you know what it is? They're getting
wages
off the bill, and in that enables them to bring other players on.
And maybe they want to get rid of him, and they've not... They want to get rid of him. Maybe if you've not got a suitor, you think, send him over there. If he has a good season, you're putting him in the shop window, basically, innit?
Basically. And you got to think about it as well, yeah? They can only register a certain amount of players a season as well. So look at Barcelona, bro.
Oh my God.
I don't know who they're gonna be putting down, but it's a mad thing. Aubameyang, I think this must be done before 11 o'clock. But I'm
hearing Michy Batshuayi. It's been signed by Nottingham Forest. Deadline day deal as well.
He's gone to Nottingham Forest.
No, that's a signing.
I believe they've signed another player as well. I had it written down there.
Willy Bolly
as well from Wolves. That's it. Something cheap though.
Left-footed centre back. I think all of these managers today, most of them, barring maybe Pep, want a left-footed centre back. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Apparently, it's the Dutch.
Yeah.
It's the Dutch way of doing it. But yeah, man, Nottingham Forest have kind of been getting busy. I mean, they didn't look too confident yesterday against City, but then City can make any team look amateurish. And it's a good sign of intent if they've got spanked yesterday and said, right, we need to go and add more players. That shows that they're trying to do everything they can to stay up. And they've gambled. They've spent a lot of money this window.
What about Anthony to United? Oh shit! What about Anthony to United? Let me turn that AC down a bit. Passes that thing there.
Go on, watch your feet as well. See, the thing with Anthony, is he looks like a top player. Ten Hag's played with him, managed him and has some experience of him, but it's big money. And that's the thing about this window.
85 mil, bro.
85 million. When you spend 85 million on on Anthony, when you spend 75 million on Nunes, and then other teams like City and Arsenal have been able to go out and get Haaland or Jesus for under 50 mil, it already puts you in a position where he's got to do a lot to feel like that's worth it now. Because we already know he's probably not going to come in and do what Haaland's going to do.
What? I'm sorry to know why I'm laughing.
Because
I just seen something that clocked my mind as well. Willian to Fulham, bro.
Willian
to Fulham. Allegedly, he was training with him, and he's looked at him and thought, I don't know why I think Scott Parker's
he might be back over there with this.
I don't know why. I just keep literally addressing Scott Parker.
I like that
Fulham
signing.
for some reason.
I like that.
They've signed Dan James as well.
That was a good signing. I heard that went through in the last hour or two.
I wanted him to go to Tottenham, man. Badly. I wanted him to go to Tottenham, man, because I seen the Tottenham fans having a meltdown that he was done.
Shall we just quickly...
we should have signed Louise.
I was going to say, let's check in with a few comments.
Penny pinch at wrong times. And you know what, bro? 100%, bro. 'Cause that's exactly what I've been saying. Get the signings through the door early, and make sure that is effective signings. I personally thought that we would sign Tielemans, and I thought Arsenal might have left that to the last minute because realistically you could get a better deal. And it's business-wise, it is kind of smart if you're going to 100% go in and get that player. And to be fair, it didn't even look like a bid got table for Tielemans. He was playing today against United. So it looks like it was only because man got injured, Partey, El Nene, that they were looking to dip in. And for me, that's not on. We needed a midfielder, bro. And we needed a striker, you get me? But it is what it is, isn't it?
So Brad James has said here, I have a feeling Arsenal might have gotten it done in time. Are there some deals that if they're done right on the last minute, don't get announced straight away? Because obviously it's paperwork, innit? Yeah. Is that why they say the deadline finishes at 11? Because you got to get your paperwork in by midnight or something?
No, you got to get your paperwork in by 11. But you can also...
Sometimes it's like you've got the signature, now you can figure out all the last pieces.
They probably don't announce it till afterwards as well, innit? Like, once everything's in.
True.
Once they've heard of the announcement or something,
you got to figure it out as it goes.
Then you got to figure it out as it goes.
A few else in the comments. Much love to Damien Baines. Big up Prenzy and Bish.
Do you know what as well? They got Kurzawa Fulham from PSG, and he was linked to Arsenal for a while as well, bro. He was linked to us, I think when Unai Emery was there. And we was looking to go and get him, and Fulham have actually managed to get him. I think they've got him on a loan.
Bro, I'm getting old now, you keep saying these players. I'm just thinking of other players back in the day. I thought you were talking about, what's my man that changed Chicago?
Kagawa.
I keep thinking you're describing man from FIFA 14. I'm like, where? And to be fair, when Willian's getting signed and that, Kurzawa, okay.
Yeah, he's a left
similar
back
player.
And plays for PSG, but I don't think he doesn't get that much game time, but he's in and around. A couple years ago, he seemed decent. There was a move on for him. People were saying Arsenal potential move, but it didn't quite materialise. And I'm pretty happy because I think he's a bit of a rash player in certain senses. That
you don't need no more of them.
Fulham have got him. It's good for Fulham to get him, to be honest with you, because
Fulham have been getting busy. Forest have been getting busy. Bournemouth are going down, aren't they? You can't sack your manager and not spend a penny all window and then expect to stay up.
Exactly. Like Josh is saying everyone's just signing everyone that we've looked at.
Yeah, Arsenal coming like the scouting report. I seen that Southampton picked up young City winger as well. I'll have to get his name up. I don't even want to skip out on his name.
I just
get it
want
up
to
for you
touch
now.
more back on this Aubameyang situation now because, for example, it doesn't look like it's confirmed. I'm going to check again. Doesn't look like it's confirmed fully throughout the sources, but like saying, we don't know if.
Do you want me to run you through a few that have popped up in the last few minutes while you're talking about that?
Yeah.
So there was Southampton had signed Caleta Carr from Marseille, and Villa got Bednarek from Southampton. So a lot of players passing around.
I was surprised as well because I'm sure Villa have signed.
Vinicius has gone to Fulham from Benfica.
I'm sure Villa signed Dendoncker as well, didn't they? When Villa signed Dendoncker from Wolves for 13 million.
Yeah, and that is a bit confusing.
And this is why I'm thinking, how's this Douglas Luiz deal not
gone through?
Because normally, unless they're just trying to stockpile, but I don't understand.
Well, he's only got 1 year left on his contract, innit? So maybe Arsenal are thinking, look, because I think that for Arsenal, they're not looking at Douglas Luiz as like how we were last January, where it was like they need to get someone. They do need to get someone, and you've been telling me all window, we need more players. But I think at this point, they're thinking Douglas Luiz would be a great last day addition. It would give us more strength. But I don't think that I think they're probably thinking, let's not be rash. If we can get him in a season's time on a free, then that's 40 mil saved.
We need it now, fam.
I think so, but I think that's where I think that's why it's not gone through. I think Aston Villa are trying to squeeze him, and Arsenal have said,
they wanted a 30
let's save that 40 mil for somebody else, get him on a free next year. He already knows we're interested, so he's going to know to come looking for us straight away, and we'll hold that 40 and spend it in January on someone else.
That, but
I don't think it's the right thing.
You know what? I don't think he was their first initial target. I think Arsenal's first initial target was Tielemans. I think Leicester have looked at the situation they're in, and they thought, you know what, fuck all of that, man. Ain't gonna give Tielemans out this year. So
can't risk it.
Arsenal have kind of messed up in a sense because they thought they'll sort that out on the last day. Now, if they would have went in for Douglas Luiz a little bit earlier on in the window, if that was a target, it would have given enough time for him to cause rest in the Villa camp, and they would have just wanted to get him out for a cheaper price. You know what I mean? But he wants to leave Villa amicably, he was saying, and he doesn't want to leave him on bad terms. So maybe that's playing part into it as well.
You've got to got to give some credit there for that one. Have you been following anything about this Bamba Dieng story?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one, isn't it?
So my man's he's at Marseille.
Yeah.
He's agreed a deal at Leeds. He's meant to he's gone to that. Yeah, no, I was gonna say don't knock the camera off either. He's gone to airport to fly to Leeds. Changed his mind. Gone to Marseille, but then did you hear what happened after that?
No.
20 minutes ago, he's gone to Marseille and failed his medical.
Don't take the piss.
Failed his medical, so the deal's fallen through. Banter.
You know what? I've not had an appetizer in a while still.
Yo, they're good, you know. It's apple juice with some bubbles.
Yeah.
Give it to my daughter and that. Samuel Ledozie is the lad that's gone from City to Southampton. 10 million they've signed him for, 19-year-old. I mean, it's always sad in a way when we see young players leaving City because we are in
the City winger. Josh is saying.
Yeah. I don't know much about him. My bro has told me about some of the youth teams.
Bellerin to Barca. That can't be right, fam.
You're lying.
Josh, are you trying to kill a man off here or something with laughter? Cause
no, it might be going to work in the kitchens or something.
Plant some trees.
Yo, what if they signed him for 50 mil? You man just stacked up again.
You know what? Yeah, Barcelona they're a bit mad with it right about now. Especially
Depay stayed at Barca. Chelsea were trying to get Depay, but he stayed at Barca.
Dennis Zakaria, Chelsea got from Juventus.
Yo, he's a baller.
He's a good baller.
Yeah,
Swiss international. He's all right still.
Chelsea been moving semi-certain at the end of this. And they've signed. He was. Oh no, it didn't go. There was another rumour earlier on in the day. It was Depay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Aubameyang's in London.
Aurier's gone to Nottingham Forest.
Nah, bro, what? Hector Bellerin to Barcelona? Are you taking the piss, bro? Yo, that's a mad thing.
Nah, I feel bad that we're even ripping him because I'm
just surprised. Like, how is he got a move to Barcelona, when he's dead, food? Honestly, bro.
Maybe they just want that pace at the back.
Did they give us any peas for this, or what? Or does it look like we just give him away for free?
You might have given them some peas.
Yeah, man. For free FA Cups.
You paid
239 appearances for the dedicated support for our local community, gay gooners, and so much more.
Gay
for understanding what it means to be a gooner. Obviously, he does a lot of support, a lot of work with gay gooners, in it, because obviously we've got like a campaign and stuff that do like stuff for gay gooners, and I think he's the ambassador for Arsenal for it.
That's
so
hard.
to be fair, at least they're bigging him up for.
And I think
for
he's
his
got
for his work that he's done and put in.
I think he might even have shares in some grassroots football club as well. There's a
Yeah.
football team that's all like vegan and all like
is it
something Forest Rovers or something. Yeah.
Nottingham.
Nottingham.
What is it? Forest Green it is.
Forest Green. There
Forest
you go.
Green it is.
This is the banter pod today, isn't it?
Oh, it's a mad
Oh
thing.
man. Right. While you're having a look at that, Billy Gilmore's gone to Brighton.
Yeah.
That's Billy I'm glad Billy Gilmore got a move, you know, because my man looked like a player, especially when I seen him in that Scotland outfit. It was about a year and a half ago that he played. Do you remember when he came up against England for Scotland?
Yeah.
And he was holding it down in midfield, and I was like, this guy's going to be 30. He's going to be a 30 component for Chelsea, and he's never really got a chance. But he had the makings to me of like a good centre midfielder. And I think Brighton, because
a lot of players are like that in Chelsea though. Like we discussed on it Premier League Unpacked a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but I think he's gone early enough where he's not gone stale. Do you know what I mean? No disrespect to Loftus-Cheek, but man like him, like sometimes he might pull it back out, or Barkley or something. Do you know what I mean? Where they go there at a pivotal point in their career, and then it's your prime years are gone. Whereas Gilmore, especially going to Brighton, who are moving in the right direction, if he goes over there and becomes like a cemented player in their midfield, in the next few years, he could still try and reach some of them heights, get another big move back up to a top club if he proves himself there.
Yeah, he can. You know what I mean? He might get a move to United. You never know. But big up
move.
Marcel in the cut, bro. I see you don't watch that. I see you. Obviously, we had to link up in person, and that obviously Bish is down here in Manny, so we just got to get it going live, man. It's just different
realised
vibes,
these
man.
men are getting fucking free advertising in the background.
You know what? Yeah,
issues
man. This kind of really gonna put man to sleep. Huh?
I said there was issues with my studio.
Man United, they've signed a Bradker, backup goalkeeper.
Is he the fourth choice?
Newcastle.
Newcastle's fourth choice goalkeeper.
Nah, I think he's the second. I think he's all right, you know. But see, with the Bradker, I think it's a £2 million loan fee, and if he plays a certain amount of games, there's an obligation to buy. So.
The thing with United, is sometimes they do business I just don't understand. They need a first choice goalkeeper. So why are they buying a third choice goalkeeper?
Do you know what? And they got rid of that Dean Henderson, saved 2 penalties already. And it's a madness. Yeah, Marcel, tell me what you think of Liverpool signing Arthur Melo. I want to get your thoughts on that because...
Tell me what you think of Klopp's Fergie time as well yesterday. Bullshit, man. Fucking, it's fixed, man. The Premier League don't want the title race to be over already. That's what it is.
Fofana to Chelsea, myself. 75 mil.
It's gone through?
Gone through because he was left out of the squad today, so 100% gone through. Brendan Rodgers was talking.
That's deal of the day for me. I know it's not a surprising deal because we've been talking about it, but I didn't think that was going to happen. And when that deal first came to the table, when they were already doing all that other business, I was thinking, okay, that's another piece that they're putting in place. Even though the problem with Chelsea at the moment, is there's something still off over there. Tuchel, I don't know if his head's gone. I don't know if it's the new owner and the new philosophy over there.
The owner's just doing a mad thing, bro. He's just throwing money left, right and centre and that, just trying to get everyone on side and, and then hopefully he fucks them, and doesn't get them no signing for about 5-6 years.
Tuchel could be on the chopping block soon if he keeps losing games.
If Roman Abramovich was there at Chelsea now, my man would have had his head by now.
But if Roman Abramovich was there, would he have started losing like this? That's the question. Have they lost that with Abramovich? Have they lost some of that winning mentality that Abramovich brings? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what?
It could be the owner.
Because
could be trickle down.
When you're a player and you're at a club and you know, Ras, our owner's got silly money in it, and our owner puts this money into the club
and he takes it
well.
serious. He'll sack you if you know.
If you're having a one bad season and you're a player like a Raheem Sterling, you'll think, right, you know what? I could stay here for another season and see what the owner brings in because you got that clarity to know that he's going to be definitely revamping the squad. But
true.
Now they don't have that luxury. Now players like Raheem Sterling and stuff like that will be looking at it thinking, oh, we need to make it happen. Let's get the comment up from Marcel. I'll read it out.
Arthur Melo to Liverpool on loan. Glad to see some reinforcements. He's a good player. If he can stay fit, then I like him. There's an option to buy for 32 million. Hopefully, bang. You know what? I think with them option to buy deals, I think especially for a team like City or Liverpool, and especially if you're buying a player that you feel like's got some potential, it is a good thing to have the option to buy already in there because what can happen is if he comes to Liverpool and fucking smashes it this season, one, if he smashes it this season at Liverpool, he's not just going to be smashing it off his own back. He's going to be he's going to be he will have to do well, but he'll also be reaping some of the benefits of being at a top club.
Most definitely.
But like I feel like sometimes when these players come on loan to a top club and have a good season, then the team that's loaned them out feel like, well, now we can leverage that for silly money on the transfer. Whereas if you've already got that option to buy in place, then Liverpool know even if he comes and smashes it, we're not going to get fleeced for him. Like 32 million is 32 million. Do you know what I mean? If he comes and proves his worth, Liverpool will pay that. No problem.
But you know what? Arsenal was interested in him. We didn't quite capitalise on the deal. And personally, I didn't want him at Arsenal Football Club. I'm surprised Liverpool went on and went to go and get him, to be honest with you. But I feel like the hands were tied in certain situations because they had that injury to Henderson, and leaving it this late, who you're really going to go out there in the market is probably better to take a loan, and then, you know what I mean, if it 100%. Works out, you think, right, we can add that squad depth. That's the apple ties. It got me on the mad thing. But yeah,
no,
you know what? Yeah, I swear to God, Jen, because now I got the top class mics and that as well. Yeah, you're gonna be hearing the mad thing.
Man, got all the layers of that bit.
Normally that's happening when you got the top class mics.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? Smash a like on the stream, people, as well. Yeah, because it helps push the content out. And obviously, we can't grow the channel without you, man. So if you're new, you know what to do. Bang the subscribe button.
1000%. Let us know how we're sounding as well in the comments, man. What's the audio sounding? How we looking? Are we looking fresh and that, or are we do you want to see us back on the split screen? Because if you're feeling the vibes, then I'll have to get a few more trains up, and we'll have to make this more of a regular thing. Henderson injury definitely forced our hands. I like that though for Liverpool. I like that they moved quickly. They did, you know, obviously they had to move quickly because the window was closing, but they didn't gamble on, you know, we'll just get through it without him. What do you think about that? What Clanty's saying? We was meant to, after all that shout, to sign a midfielder. Club decided to gamble again, and now look, we've not got nobody.
Do you know what? I'm guessing that's obviously for Arsenal, and you know the way things pan out, it just doesn't normally tend to end well for Arsenal. But I just want to put the hope and belief in Sambi, man, because he came on, well, he started yesterday, and he didn't really put a foot wrong in the sense, and he was all right, but we definitely needed squad depth. We 110% needed squad depth, and it looks like he's kind of done it again. Obviously, we haven't seen Fabio Vieira yet. Maybe when he comes into the fold, we can get a little bit more excited, but he's not really going to be covering them positions that we need. Most definitely, you know what I mean, fam? We definitely need to be getting positions with depth. Striker, midfielder, maybe a winger, another centre-back for me. At least address two of them, you know what I'm saying?
Fabrizio Romano 10 minutes ago said Pierre Aubameyang has signed his contract at Chelsea. We're just waiting for the official statement. Right, so it looks like the deal's been done.
Well, he was in London, innit? It's a bit of a madness.
They would have had to have fully flopped it for it to not go through.
What's Warren saying there? Yes, stretch.
Yes, boys, big up. What do you? How do you rate the Arsenal window? I was just about to say, in a second we can stop looking at the live updates and we can speak about the window more generally. Yeah, you didn't get the players you wanted today. Obviously, that leaves a bit of a bitter taste in your mouth. But how are you feeling about how the window's been in totality? What score would you give it out of 10 for a transfer window?
I'd give it a 7.
Okay.
And that's being fair because, I want a lot more. I'm not going to lie. As a fan, I want a lot more because I can see for a number of years, we're always screaming the same shit. And that is, we're 2 players away from doing something. We're 1 player away from doing something. Yeah. At this moment, everybody can see it. The fan base can see it. There's massive positivity around the club. Everyone's buzzing. 5 wins on the bounce. Let's go out there and cement that. Let's go out there, sign a few more players, fix the mistake that we did in January and not sign players. Learn from that, progress, and then happy days. But now we're going to be humming and ahhing, hoping players like Partey could come back quick, El Neni could come back quick, and they're not getting injured. Squad depth's a little bit thin in the sense of, especially in midfield, especially up front, we've got Europe to be playing. It would have been a solid 8 if we would have signed a midfielder for me, another midfielder.
What would it have took for it to have been to have pushed on for a 9 or a 10?
Midfielder and a striker for me.
So you would have needed another top-class midfielder and another top-class striker.
Or
of that.
Yeah.
Obviously,
top B definitely
list.
top class.
Don't have to be Haaland, but it needs to be someone who can come into that first team and be better than what you've already got in them positions. Yeah. You didn't want backup centre mids or backup strikers. You wanted someone who could come in and do a job.
Most definitely, man. Because at the end of the day, we want to have that player that can just not only come on and do that job, but can challenge as well. The likes of Partey and Xhaka and players that are in the first team, because that will only then give the players the motivation and encouragement to keep pushing, keep going further and further along the way progressing.
If that Douglas Luiz deal had gone through today, would that have been enough to have pushed it to an 8, or were you not that excited about him?
You know what, he's not a player that I can just sit here and say, you know what, I wanted him. But I could see what he could add. I could see that he could come into that position that Partey would play, hold, and he's also got a little bit of an attacking flair on him. He's got a good ball on him, as you've seen. He scored a corner against Arsenal.
Yep.
Personally, I don't think it was a goal, though. Ramsdale was getting absolutely molested in the front post. You get me? Like, it's a mad thing, yeah. But he's done that twice now. I think he did that twice in the same week. You know what I mean? So if you got a player that could pull something out that like that out here,
got a foot on him. Arsenal were on a joke thing. I mean, if it's true that Aston Villa were saying they wanted 40 and Arsenal's third and final offer was 25 million, and them man don't know how to haggle.
Nah.
Yeah, you can start off with a 20-25, but if they're saying 40, you're meant to go to 31, 32 or something. Do you know what I mean? 32, I reckon, would have got that done. And what's 6 million today?
I think it's like what you're saying, though.
They're thinking, if I can get him free. Yeah, it's true.
Get me? This
How
is
old
the
is he?
problem. And to be fair, maybe that was the situation with the Tielemans. I think they were just trying to push for a 25 milli. They weren't looking to push that 30, 40. Now the problem comes is if any foreign team wants these players,
or British team, because if he
within 6
continues to
months,
smash it, and now
what about like they could get a pre-contract agreement of 6 months in January for free.
What we can't do that though.
I don't think the clubs in the Premier League could do. It's only teams abroad, but then you're leaving yourself a little bit scarce because somebody could come in and take it. But I'm just baffled about this Hector Bellerin thing. I just can't mention
Marcus
it
Alonso's just been signed by Barcelona as well.
Yeah,
so they've obviously got a thing.
Definitely gone.
Well, they've also obviously got a thing about signing flipping fullbacks from London clubs, because Marcus Alonso's past
They've been after him for a little bit though, to be fair. I've been hearing Marcus Alonso's been knocking around Barcelona for a little while now, that name. But to be fair, you got to look at it. They got a good deal there, Barca. They got Aubameyang on a free.
Got money back in on him.
Paid only about 6 months worth of wages, if that.
Yeah.
And then they've got 10 mil on him, and got a player as well that they would have probably had to pay for in the first place.
Yeah.
So they've done Arsenal a favour in a sense for Arteta, and now they've done themselves a favour. Whether Tuchel could get the best Aubameyang out of him in the Premier League at the second time, that's another question. What do you think? Do you reckon he could do it?
I think, you know what? I think Aubameyang is a good signing. I think putting him in there, if they'd signed him without all these other signings around him, you'd be thinking that's looking like a flop. But I think putting him in there with Sterling, who's already hit the ground running, putting him in there with some of the other players that they've added, it is a bit frightening, to be fair. Because if he comes and even if he comes and even
like the thought of it, man, it's pissing me off.
I don't.
I swear to God,
I don't. Now
people.
You're saying it is because I've been screwing at how well Sterling's been doing. Like, I went from being like, yeah, I wish you the best, to now a bit like.
Do you know how gutting it would be, fam? Just imagine, Arsenal at the Emirates playing against Chelsea. Yeah, it's 1-1, and Aubameyang comes on and scores the winner against us, bro. Oh, they should have.
They should have put
some water bottles that are going to be getting dashed out. I tell you, it's going to be a mad thing.
I know. Maybe they should have put some kind of a contract in place when they sold him to Barca that said if you sell him back to an English club, he can't play against Arsenal.
But you know what? Yeah, look, I'm not one of these fans to sit here and say that I didn't want him moving on, because I understand that all players have a cycle. I still think Aubameyang could have offered us so much, but if it's not working out, it's not working out. Watching the All or Nothing documentary, we're seeing a little bit more of what kind of happened.
What the situation? Tell me a bit more about that, because my brother was speaking to me about that yesterday, and I wasn't really deep in what had happened or what the situation was. So what went down?
To be fair, from what I kind of got from it, it looked like Aubameyang was kind of forced out. He went away, he came back late on the same day, but he didn't turn up for training. Came in the next day training, came in late. Arteta segregated him from the team, made him train on his own, and then from that point onwards, he didn't really want him involved in the squad or the team, and he kind of was. They were trying to find the best solution, what to do with him. Barcelona, there was a bit of back and forth towards Barcelona. They didn't want to pay a fee or anything like that, and then eventually they just managed to get the deal done over. They wanted to loan in it. Arsenal just wanted to just get rid of him.
Right.
And eventually, in the documentary, it just shows Barcelona come across and say, right, okay, we'll take him. Get me?
Right.
So congratulations, you got yourself a good deal. They're trying to give it to us and that. You get me?
Fair play.
But that's how I see it, man.
Let me ask you another question. And we've got some comments in there. We've got
some Marcel's on the delete mission, yo.
69 mega love. Want to find your love? Our AI will help you find the best striker you need for your club. Wet emojis.
God.
As of this minute, ain't gonna put my faith in Arsenal no more. They don't learn. I wanted to ask y'all, give me top 5 in order clubs this club's transfer window. So who's had the best transfer window, 1 3 to 5, and in the comments, anyone that wants to join in, give me your 1 to 5 in order. So who's had the best transfer window? That's number 1. Who's had the second best? Number 2, 3, 4, 5.
See, you can look at it in different ways. Like the way I see the best window is who's gonna have the most, who's gonna be affected the most by it. And obviously, Man City have brought Haaland in, and I think they got Haaland at a pretty much of a steal as well. Like he's 50 odd million.
Yeah.
Brought a Kanji in now. They brought that Alvarez up front, and Calvin Phillips. They've added depth there. City, you can say, have had a good window. 100% Marcel saying City as well. Definitely. Obviously with Haaland, that just gives you that top. Is a world class player, bro, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
you take the Haaland signing out of it, City probably aren't even in your top 3. But yeah, put Haaland in there, and it's enough to push him into that number 1 conversation, innit?
I'd say Tottenham second.
Wow.
You know why? Because a lot of the players that they've signed, I wanted at my club.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they brought in Perisic. That's player of experience. They brought in Jed Spence. Jed Spence, you seen what he did in the Championship last season with Forest. He was on fire. Good prospect. They brought in Basuma. They brought in what's his name, Richarlison. They've brought in that Langley from Barcelona, the French centre back. He's obviously been out of favour, but it's a good quality centre back. So I'd say Tottenham have done quite well with the players that they've brought in. They've obviously got rid of a few players as well.
Yeah.
So I'd say Tottenham have had a good window.
So what, you've got City at 1, Tottenham at 2?
Yeah. I'd say Arsenal at 3.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'd say Arsenal, because Gabriel Jesus, I think the signing of him has been unbelievable right about now.
Yeah.
Zinchenko as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got to see what Fabio Vieira can offer, but
that's exciting to see what
it's exciting because there's been reports from the Portuguese league that's saying that you think Darwin Núñez is sick, then wait and see what Fabio Vieira is about. You get me? Although they're in different positions, but he's had quite a bit of effectiveness in that league, and he didn't really play that much game time as well, and his stats were brilliant.
And you've got to count into part of Arsenal's window how many players they've got rid of. Bro, I'm looking at the list there, yeah. They've got rid of 1, 2, either on loan or for sale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Marcel, just to touch on, with the Tottenham squad, I hear what you're saying, but I just feel like that squad depth that they've added is key, and I think players like Basuma and that you'll soon see will start for them, because they're better than what they've got there right now. I'm telling you now.
But Arsenal have offloaded or sent out on loan 35 players this window. 35 guys have either been released, gone out on loan, or been sold. Obviously, some of them are young.
When you say it like that, it doesn't seem like that many.
Some of them are young boys. Some of them are guys we would have never heard of. But in there, you've got Maitland-Niles, you've got Hector Bellerin, you've got Nicolas Pepe, you've got Alexander Lacazette, you've got Nuno Tavares, Guendouzi, Leno, Torreira. These are a lot of players that would have been on decent salaries going out of the club, either for sale or on loan. You got to count that into the quality of the window, because you've been asking for a while for there to be a clear out of some of the deadwood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I say Arsenal have a decent window. I'm not gonna lie. The reason why, because we managed to get players in early in it. We haven't got the right amount of players for me in, but we've got players in. We managed to add to the team last season.
Agreed.
And to be fair, that integrated well, and we've had a good start to the Premier League campaign. Now, I can't complain unless shit starts going wrong in it. You get me? Right now, everything looks good. We've got a game against Man United. We're going to have to see how that pans out, because they're looking like they got the tails up at the moment. They've won 3 games on the bounce. And I want to dig into United because I'd probably put them in. You know what? It's a bit weird because that's what I was going to say. You got Chelsea, but I think Chelsea are panicking, bro.
But if you look at the signings they've made, so they've got Mark Cucurella, Raheem Sterling, Koulibaly, Wesley Fofana. I don't know who Eddie Beach is. Omari Hutchinson
Eddie
from
Murphy.
Arsenal. Carney Chukwuemeka from Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And Cesare Casede. I think there might be one more that's gone through today that I'm missing. But that's 95, 110, 100. They spent over 200 mil.
Make sure you're smashing a like on the stream, people. Everybody that's in
Smash
here,
that like.
smash a like on the stream. But
All right, so you've got.
let's talk about Chelsea.
Go on.
Let's talk about Chelsea. I think Raheem Sterling, good signing.
Yeah.
Because he's still got a lot to offer. He's massively experienced in the Premier League, not just with one club, but with 2 clubs. He found his new level at Man City, and it looks like he was just out of favour with Pep.
And 47 million is, again, in this day and age, similar with the Jesus signing. To pay 47 million.
Zakaria today as well, Marcel just said, for Chelsea as well.
Of course.
You know what? Yeah.
Throwing them in the mix.
Talking about it now, looking at but it depends what these guys do with them, you get me? Because it just seems like they're throwing something. It looks like they're doing a Barcelona, man.
I know.
It looks like them and Barcelona are on the same kind of tackle. Zakaria is a good player. I agree with you, Marcel. He is a good player, bro. And you know what? He's a player that I would have looked at maybe taking at Arsenal to step in for Thomas Partey. And if he was available, that is somebody we should have been looking at to go and get, really, in my opinion.
Sterling for under 50 mil has got to be a top 10 signing of the window.
Sterling. We touch back on Sterling. He's good, man. He's good in it.
And he's proven, and he's come through the door, and he's hit the ground running. And when like United are spending 85 million for Anthony, who's not got no Premier League proven quality.
You don't know what you're getting. Really,
you don't know what you're getting. He's not a winner. He's not played at that top level. For you to be able to pay sub 50 million and get someone with the experience and the quality of Sterling, I think that's got to go down as a good signing. I think you're right. I think some of those other players we could remain to see. Fofana has looked great at Leicester, but I could see him going to Chelsea and being a flop, just because of who Chelsea are, not because of who Fofana is. But you could see it happening, couldn't you? You could see him going over there and stinking out the place a little bit, just because.
I think Fofana would be one of the better signings.
I hope so.
Personally, because I think he's got too much quality about him. I can see he's a very good signing, man. He's a very good signing.
But I thought that about
a lot of money, but a good signing.
But I thought that about Cucurella and Koulibaly, and so far they've looked a little bit.
Right, they've gone on off the mad thing, haven't it?
Bro, they've
splurged. Koulibaly.
Do you reckon they've been getting like government?
Zakaria.
Do you reckon they've got? I reckon what's happened is because Chelsea, because Abramovich was forced to sell by the government. I bet the owner that's bought him got some kind of financial benefit from the government to help him buy the club, or got it on a special extra cheap, so he had extra change to splash.
I don't think it's that. I think what my man's done is I thought
trying to buy a favour.
Let me just come in, splash the cash, buy a lot of the top name players around right now. People that have got high profiles. It'll only help the club with the brand exposure, and also it will show, look, I'm not here to fuck around. I can do what Roman Abramovich done for the club. And to be fair, if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be looking at it thinking, right, okay, this is what I want to be seeing.
So Chelsea are in your top 4, and then you've got City, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea. Who's your fourth one?
Go United, you know. They've pulled a few signings out now, and to be fair, you want to go Nottingham Forest, 22 signings or something mad like that, bro. Signed a new squad and a bench.
Nottingham Forest.
On a mad team.
And nearly every player they've bought is probably rated more valuable than what they had. Fulham have got busy as well.
Yeah, Fulham.
Before you even added the players that they had today, they'd bought Bert Leno, Andres Pereira from United, Paulinho from Sporting Lisbon, some Donny from Juventus, who I can't even pronounce, Kevin Mbabu from Wolfsburg, Issa Diop from West Ham, Willian, Carlos Vinicius from Benfica. Like, those are all good signings.
Do you know what?
For
that Mbabu,
Fulham.
I watched him when United got beat by Young Boys a couple of years ago in the Champions League or something like that. He was good, man. And then he got his move to Wolfsburg, and then now he's got his move back to not back, but to the Premier League, to be fair. And you know what? They have got a few good signings in there, especially with the geezers that got signed today.
I think Leeds are one of the few clubs that have made more money from sales.
Nottingham Forest did a complete overhaul.
Complete, bro. Gutted it out. I think Leeds are one of the few clubs that have made more money from sales than they've spent on transfers. They brought in over 100 mil from Rafinha and Calvin Phillips, and they've spent in total now just under 100 mil, about 85 million on new signings. Everyone else seems to have spent more than they've sold and just gambled on something happening. I mean, Leicester have got to be up there with one of the worst windows.
Yeah, 100%.
They've signed Alex Smith, he's from Cardiff, on a free, and Wout Fires from Reims.
Alan Smith, the Arsenal Alan Smith.
Alex Smith, bro. Flipping heck.
Yeah, Gunners for life. Let me know if you know any DMs that are on a free, because I don't really know any DMs that are on a free now. But it's a good shout.
Is the free window still open?
No, but the DMs, if somebody's on a free.
But that's what I mean. It's freeze. Can you still get freeze in?
I think so. Maybe till tomorrow, or I don't know. In it, potentially in it. See what happens.
We need to figure that. I think you're right. You know, but you might be able to sign a free throughout the season, because obviously,
I think you can.
That would be worth knowing. Put it in the comments if you know about freeze.
Kukurea looks good so far. Koulibaly, not so much. He's just adjusting to the Premier League. Yeah. Either that or he's old. Roadman TV. Steven Gerrard wouldn't sell Louise because he got rattled on the weekend. You know what? Yeah, it touched a nerve, didn't he? You know what I mean? Maybe that could be true. You know, Bish. You get me?
I just think that the Aston Villa owners. It's a weird one from the Villa owners, because he's going to go on a free now. And Villa aren't the kind of club. It's not like City or someone.
Can't afford to do that.
Yeah,
kind
like
of shit,
who are they? But maybe they feel like we've had a shit start to the season. If we sell him, we might end up going down or something.
Do you know what I mean? Do? January will come, and they'll bring Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I say, yo.
Yeah.
15 mil, 20 mil, you can have him.
But you need to make that deal first week of the window, so we've got time to go and spend. Southampton have spent money. Who else hasn't really bought anyone? Perisic was another one Tottenham have bought this window. I don't know if we mentioned Perisic.
Zinchenko and White can play in midfield as well. To be honest, Zinchenko, yeah, I'd like to see him play in midfield, but Ben White, no, I'd rather him stay where he is in defence. Thank you very much.
I can't see Ben White in midfield, but maybe I'm not seeing something that other people know about.
Let's carry on with Chelsea though, just to touch on them.
Go on, I'm listening.
They've brought in a squad. Now we can name. Let's name how many players they brought in. So off the top of my head, Sterling.
Yeah.
That Zakaria, whatever his name is.
Aubameyang.
Fofana. Kukurea. They've got
Koulibaly. Did you say Koulibaly?
Koulibaly, no.
Sterling.
I think I might have said Sterling.
Cesare Casadei from Inter Milan. Cesare Casadei, Casadei, 17 million from Inter Milan.
Don't know. So they've gone out there
and Omari Hutchinson from Arsenal. Do you know anything about him?
No, you dickhead. He's thingy.
What?
Oh, so why are you gonna say that and hurt my feelings again? I just, you know what? I totally forgot about it, bro. I loved him, you know, bro. I swear down, he's a young prospect at Arsenal.
And he's gone on a free.
And he's gone to Chelsea, bro. And when you just said that, then, I just felt like I got shot.
Oh.
You get me? What?
I was thinking, why did he didn't? Because the first time I said it, you didn't really
because in
register.
My mind, you know what? Yeah, I've had high hopes for this guy, man. I'm telling you, bro, because I know he's gonna be fucking fire, bro. But it's a bit mad that he's gone to Chelsea, because he ain't gonna be getting no game time.
Maybe he's got a bad taste in his mouth and he feels like, I'm gonna fucking do it to spite Arsenal on purpose. But it's only gonna work if he gets game time, or he's gone for money. Wants to stay in London.
I don't know. I think Chelsea might be a bit messed up this season. I think they're going to be very inconsistent. I think all these players that have come into the team, they're going to have to gel him in. They're going to have to find a way to work that it works. Obviously, people are thinking Aubameyang's come here and he's just going to hit the ground running because Tuchel was his old manager. He's going to be. It don't necessarily
work like that.
Move that out the way. Excuse me. Got some appetizers writing me off here. Yo, I'm telling you, gassing the life out of me, man. But man. Yeah, Tuchel, he might take him to them new heights, but he's an Aubameyang on the decline, innit? You get me? So
true.
They got to find a system that's going to fit him when he comes back to the Premier League. Can he hold up another season with that pace? As we seen last season, he was slowly falling off, and the season before that. So with Chelsea, I think they're going to have a bit of an inconsistent season, to be honest. But
I could see it.
Let's just see how it happens. Give me your thoughts on United then, because they've signed a few players then, Bish.
We'll go United. We're on 20. I was just checking what time we're on. We're on just gone past quarter to 12. So we're gonna have to wrap up in the next 5 or so we can
we're going to be wrapping. We'll
sort
wrap
the
the show
video.
up anyway.
We will
in about
do.
5 minutes or so.
United.
We're booked in for slot people, aren't we? We've got here. We booked it for 2 hours, yeah, and we give ourselves about 45 minutes to work with because we're unorganised. But you know what?
Yeah.
First time for everything, innit?
Yeah.
We'll do better on the next
double
one.
back. We will do, definitely.
Go on, Bish.
I think the thing with United is, and I think this is the thing with you. It's kind of something you've touched on about all the clubs that we spoke about today. Is like, in some ways, how well you've done in the window is going to be defined by how well the club does in the season. Do you know what I mean? I know that sounds obvious to say, but especially for clubs like United, who have had a wobble, especially for Chelsea, who've been on a bit of a wobble. If these players that they've signed come in and come good, and United come good, then it's going to look like a good window because they brought in some, they brought in some experience with Casemiro. They brought in, someone who's highly rated in Anthony. But for me, my gut feeling is just it still doesn't look like there's really any like long-term strategy. There's some weird signings in there. There's been. I mean, I think if we're talking about how they've been in this whole window, you've got to count in there the whole Arnautovic stuff. Even if it didn't go through, Arnautovic and Rabiot, that was part of this window. Ronaldo not managing to get a deal done to get Ronaldo out the door, I think that's bad business because now they've got to figure out something to do with him. They can't keep benching him forever. That's going to be a problem. Do you know what I mean? And he's on big wages, so I think they've not really managed to get rid of that many players because no one wants him. So for me, I don't think it's been a great window for United. But obviously, it only takes 1 or 2 of those players to come in and hit the ground running. For Casemiro to come in and just be a solid wall in that middle. Or for Anthony to come in and get 18 goals, and then all of a sudden it looks like a good window. But where we're standing today, for me, United's window's not even in the top 7, 8 of windows that people have had.
To be fair, they've had to do something though.
They've had to do something.
If you think about it, yeah. From what I said at the start of the season, United need about 8, 9 players. Yeah. They brought in Casemiro. He's going to be good for the now, believe me. He's not going to be a player here for the future.
But he'll do a job. I think he's a good signing.
They brought in Martinez. That Arsenal was after.
He looks okay.
He looks all right.
He looks like he'll be okay.
Developing a partnership with Iran now.
Yeah.
Won 3 games on the bounce, and to be fair, they're looking all right.
Malacia looks good. He was a good signing.
Good. He's young as well.
Yeah.
He's from the Dutch league, so he's known well. They brought in Anthony.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot of potential with him. He looks a good player, bro. I'm not going to lie and say he doesn't look a good player. He does look a good player. Whether he can do it in the Premier League or not, that's another question.
And Dubravka from Newcastle. But in fairness, I said they hadn't got rid of that many players, but they have managed to get rid of, on loan or for sale, Bailly's gone to Marseille, Tellez, Pogba, Juan Mata, Lingard, Matic, Cavani, Dean Henderson, Andres Pereira. This is me just picking out the big names that are on big money. That is probably 7 or 8 players that would have been on around £100,000 a week or more. So you do forget sometimes, especially with teams like United with these big wages, just Juan Mata, Pogba, Lingard, Matic and Cavani alone, that might be £1 million a week that you've saved near enough on some, on wages. Yeah. Especially if you throw them other couple guys in, you're probably saving £1 million a week on wages. That's 50 million over the course of the next year.
And the benefit of what they've got as well is they've brought Martial back into the squad as well.
Yeah, and started to find a bit of value. That's true.
And to be fair with Rashford as well, he's coming like a bit of a new signing because he's getting more game time up front.
Yeah, but I'm not going to give them that as part of the window.
No,
but I know what you mean.
What I mean is, see, like, he was more or less fizzled out the squad, weren't he? Like, you weren't seeing much of Rashford
it's true.
all. I wasn't seeing anything of him. Trashford, all of this that he was getting, you get me?
But then
now it looks like...
But Ronaldo's value seems to have dropped as theirs has risen. Do you know what I mean? So...
I think that's just more because they knew that he was... we got a little bit of technical difficulties, people. I think it's time to wrap up the stream, people. If you can't see us, peace and love. We're going to catch you on the next one. We've just had some technical difficulties and we're going to have to take it from there, people, yeah? So peace and love and we'll see you on the next one because he's fucked it. Bish has fucked it. He's got to slap that end button there.